15 Things You Didn't Know About Perrier. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. It's time for a little riddle. It's classy and fizzy and also French. It comes in an elegant pear-shaped bottle, and millionaires and celebrities love it. Yes, we're talking about Perrier, the carbonated drink that defined international premium water and changed the market forever. Before Evian, Voss, Fiji, and other big bottled water brands, there was Perrier, which originated in a village in the south of France and was championed by Harmsworth, an astute British businessman that opened it up to the world in the 19th century. Perrier is still huge on the U.S. market as the fourth leading label of mineral water in 2017, but the most interesting thing about it is the evolution from an idyllic spring in France to the most appealing water brands in the world, which was the thing to drink, whether they were events in the 80s or floating in hot air balloons above Paris as a part of a glamorous marketing campaign. There are also many things to learn, as Perrier recovered from some PR disasters in the past, which we'll of course cover in the 15 Things You Didn't Know About Perrier. Let's go. Number 1. Perrier is actually owned by Nestle. Food giant Nestle has been dominating the market for a few years now, with around $89 billion in revenue in 2017. That is way ahead of its largest competitors, Coca-Cola, with $35 billion, and PepsiCo with $63 billion. They own so many brands in their portfolio, it is in fact impossible to walk into a store without buying something from Nestle. The company basically makes a lot of what you eat, or more specifically, over 2,000 brands in 150 countries. The company also acquired Perrier in 1992 for $2.6 billion, and the brand is now managed by Nestle. We bet you didn't know that about such a sophisticated water brand. But even before that, Perrier was a big French company, which found great success on the U.S. market from 1976 onward and became very appealing to young Americans. Nowadays, Perrier tries to win over the market by appealing to influencers and sponsoring major events like the Cannes Film Festival. Number 2. Perrier's packaging explains its success. Designer water is in, sugary drinks are out. There has been a trend of seeking healthier options as people are becoming more aware of the negative effects that sugar has on their well-being. Everyone tries to cut out fizzy drinks, but their marketing is one step ahead of healthy habits. Even governments have taken notice by imposing a sugary drink tax in many countries. That means more sales for companies that make bottled water, and also the rise of big water brands such as Evian and Fiji. But Perrier has been and continues to be the ultimate designer water by using clever packaging such as the 250ml slim can and limited edition bottles designed by artists such as painter Juan Treviso. They know what posh customers want, and that's a bottle of water that will look good in pictures. Number 3. Perrier originates from a Roman spa. Vergese is a charming place in southern France, which had a spring known as Les Bouilliens. Romans established the spa there as it was their custom to do so, and there's even a legend that Hannibal, one of the greatest military commanders, also stopped by the spring. Yes, Roman emperors and conquistadors drank Perrier water in a way. Many years later, in 1898 to be exact, it was Louis Perrier, a doctor who bought the spring and also started commercializing water. The water was known as having great benefits for your health. Years later, St. John Harmsworth, a Brit who was enamored with France, decided to buy it from Perrier, but he kept the name of Perrier for the water. He also decided to end the spa business because he didn't want anything to do with it, as he saw a better use for the brand: selling bottled water in his native UK. Now, Perrier water is one of the most recognizable brands of water, so he definitely had a good hunch. Number 4. Perrier once registered 95% of its sales in the UK and US. The rest of Europe's love of France in the 19th and the beginning of the 20th century means that everything French was associated with luxury and good taste. For some people, that idea still makes sense. That was especially true for the British middle class and Lord Harmsworth. He knew exactly what he was doing and he accomplished his goals. He made the drink so popular in his native UK and the US that 95% of Perrier's sales were actually coming from these territories. It used to be called the champagne of mineral water, since big champagne names like Laurent Perrier sounded chic. Pushing the water so hard to his people, he actually achieved total sales of over 95% only in the US and UK. Maybe that's why we can't find Perrier in other countries and most supermarkets. Number 5. Nestle Waters sold $8 billion worth in 2017. The water division of Nestle Waters, has many world-class brands in its portfolio. Of course, there's Perrier, but also San Pellegrino, Poland Spring, and Vital. The company boasts 95 production sites in 34 countries, including the original location in France for Perrier. They employ more than 33,700 people and have reported a sales figure of $8 billion in 2017 alone. Also, they're showing no signs of stopping, since in the first half of 2018, Nestle Waters had already made $4 billion. The company also stated that their premium brands, Perrier and San Pellegrino, have continued to do great and have grown according to their expectations. More people are choosing to drink expensive water, which is good news for some companies. It's still debatable if it's worth spending more money on water, and if expensive brands such as Perrier are just a fad. Number 6. The design of the bottle was born when the owner recovered from paralysis. Lord Harmsworth was a remarkable businessman and a savvy marketer. He was thinking way ahead of his time, and we can safely say he was a visionary, but he also had his share of misfortune. In 1906, he had a car accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. He took that time to recover, and of course, to do some thinking. He also started exercising his upper body muscles after that, using an Indian club, which was used as a type of exercise. The clubs are swung in certain ways to develop strength, and also had a nice pear shape. That inspired Harmsworth to design the Perrier bottle, which retains its green teardrop shape today, just like a pear. The design changed subtly over the years, most notably offering the drink in a bottle of plastic since 2001 that's said to retain the water's flavor. Since 2016, when you buy Perrier anywhere in the world, the bottle will be exactly the same design, reminiscent of its cultural origins and Indian therapy. Number 7. The Perrier Awards were boycotted in 2001. Perrier is no stranger to the world of celebrities. In fact, they used to do the Perrier Awards as a part of the Edinburgh Festival, which caused a scandal in 2001, when celebrities such as Emma Thompson of Men in Black and Harry Potter decided to boycott the event. You see, it didn't have much to do with Perrier as a brand, but the main issue was Nestle's shady practices of marketing powdered milk in developing countries. That's the problem with having your brand owned by a giant corporation. All their problems will affect you. This time, it was a case of powdered milk not being as good for babies as they claim. Number 8. A cancer-causing chemical was found in Perrier bottles. Perrier suffered quite a hard blow in 1990 when cancer-causing benzene was found in its bottles. The water was tested in a North Carolina laboratory, and the news soon exploded in the media. As you would expect, they made it sound even worse than it was. Although it appears that benzene was found in small quantities, and they blamed it on a filtering mistake, the damage was done, and everyone thought that drinking Perrier will give you cancer. As many as 160 million bottles across the world had to be withdrawn from the market after the news, resulting in huge financial losses for the company. In 18 months, its shares fell to 9% in the US and dropped 19% in the UK, their main markets. Around 750 employees were sacked, and well, soon after Nestle took over the business and other scandals emerged, this time coming from Nestle itself. Number 9. The brand celebrated its 40-year partnership with Roland Garros in 2018. Perrier is a French brand at heart, and since they do like to keep everything French-related, it's only fair they support and invest in French events, such as Roland Garros. The famous tennis tournament is one of the most important in the whole ATP circuit, and only big brands like Longines or Emirates are among the main partners. A long-time sponsorship was made with Perrier 40 years ago and is still going strong to this day. As they mention, the water is the ultimate refreshment and sensorial stimulation for intense, pleasurable moments, which is just what you need after a long tennis match. We have to give credit to the French this time. They sure know how to keep all their affairs local and support each other. Other main partners of the tournament that are French-based are Peugeot, Andy, or Lacoste. Number 10. Around 1 billion bottles of Perrier are sold each year. 150 years later, the brand is stronger than ever. In fact, around 2.4 million bottles are sold each day, and it gets even crazier to think that they manage to sell one bottle every 28 seconds. Taking into account that an average bottle costs between $1.30 and $1.70, that's almost $2 billion in sales. Nestle has even bolder plans of increasing Perrier's production by 40%, which will make just around $2 billion per year by the year 2020. But we hope they also have sustainability on their mind with this goal, because more bottles means more plastic. And with the way climate change is going, we won't be buying plastic bottled water anymore. So many of you are wondering by this time, just how ambitious can Nestle actually get? Find out more about the food giant by watching our video, The 15 Things You Didn't Know About Nestle. Check it out by clicking in the top right corner. Number 11. Taylor Swift is a huge fan of the brand. Perrier isn't afraid of innovation, and that's a fact. Aside from the cool and timeless designer bottles and refreshing spring water, they've released Perrier-flavored beverages to attract even the most fickle customers that don't settle for plain water. It's a bold move, but has proven to be a very successful one. So, you can drink lime, grapefruit, strawberry, watermelon Perrier water, and Taylor Swift's favorite, black cherry, pomegranate, and blueberry. Apparently, she's literally obsessed with the brand and always has a bottle of Perrier nearby. No sponsorship deal there so far. Maybe Taylor should be more vocal about her preferences if she's such a huge fan. Number 12. Perrier had a royal warrant. The fact that the British loved Perrier a little too much is no secret, but did you know that it also had a royal warrant? What is a royal warrant, you ask? Royal warrants are awarded by the Queen to identify goods and services that act as suppliers to the royal house. In 1911, Perrier got its own warrant from Edward VII and George V. But it definitely didn't hurt that Harmsworth, the founder of the brand, had a famous press magnate brother who owned the Daily Mail and the Daily Mirror and could readily help him advertise the brand in the UK. Millions of bottles were sold by the time 1912 rolled around, which just shows that everything royal approved is in. The royal family does have a lot of influence. You just need to get into their circle, and poof, you're famous and royal. Drake pouring a Perrier became a meme. Imagine this. You're at a basketball game and your favorite team is playing. Then you casually pour yourself a drink and get caught on camera by the paparazzi. That's what you get when you're a celebrity. No privacy. And when you're a famous rapper like Drake, everything you do easily turns into an internet meme. In 2017, Drake, who has a net worth of $100 million, was watching the Raptors play a game. Mid-game, he was spotted casually pouring himself a can of grapefruit Perrier into a plastic cup. Yep, needless to say that he became an internet meme in seconds. Drake is so good at becoming memes, he should be getting paid for this. Number 14. Perrier defined luxury designer water. Perrier still dominates the premium water industry and defines what designer water means. Perrier paved the path for other brands, such as Evian and Voss, to show how it's done and shows no signs of stopping. Take, for example, the sexiest Perrier ad out there, featuring burlesque dancer Dita Von Teese, in which she pours a bottle of Perrier on herself. Another classic ad features a woman fighting over a bottle of Perrier with a lion, which was remade 3 decades later. The director of the ad, Johnny Green, said, "With this new film, we pay homage to the heritage of Perrier." However, very cleverly this time, the woman is now a girl and the lion is a cub because they're advertising Perrier Fine Boule, a new product which features smaller bubbles. They always go for extravagant setups, celebrities, and fine living because that's what Perrier's all about. Number 15. Perrier sells Andy Warhol-inspired bottles. Andy Warhol needs no introduction at this point, but did you know he actually was a big fan of Perrier back in 1983? He actually made over 40 paintings that feature the famous pear-shaped bottles, including a piece called Perrier, which can be seen at the Tate Museum in London. Apparently, he enjoyed a little fizz while painting, or simply loved the sleek design. I guess we'll never know for sure. The artist, whose most expensive canvas sold for $105 million, has also been featured as a part of a Perrier campaign to celebrate its 150 years of existence. And so the Warhol bottles were born, complete with Warhol-inspired designs and his most famous quips, such as, "Art is what you can get away with," and "I have social disease. I have to go out every night." They were the only ones made as a limited edition series, and they really looked amazing. Since there are only a few water brands appealing to high-end customers, we're curious to know which brand of water is your favorite. Are you guys Perrier fans, or settle for any kind of water? Remember, it's never just water. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos for you to watch next. As always, the conversation continues on social media. Thanks again, and we can't wait to have you back tomorrow.